right, so whenever we have an x to the fourth x squared and a constant, we're factoring. There's no GCF. There's 2x and x gets me my 2x here in the first term. And my 15 is going to be 5 and 3 as my factors. We'll put the 3 here and the 5 here. The only difference is it's x to the fourth, so each x is squared. When I do that middle term, 10x, 3x, it's really 3x squared and 10x squared. And can I combine these numbers to get a negative 7? Sure. My 10 is negative. So this is minus and this is plus. Okay. Now, to finish the problem, I've got to set, and actually I'm going to erase this so I have more room. I've got to set each parenthesis equal to 0. We subtract 3. We divide by 2. So my x squared is equal to negative 3 over 2. And this is where there's a little more work to be done. I have to take the square root of both sides. You have to take the square root of both sides. And that means the square root of negative 3 over the square root of 2. And you do need to rationalize. Root 3 over root 2. Well, we're going to have an I root 3 because it's root negative 3. So I have to take the negative out. And now, root 2 over root 2, this becomes I root 6 over 2. The radical in the denominator goes away. That's how we rationalize the denominator. And since it's an x squared, every single time we take the square root of something, it's plus minus. Plus minus. The answer here is plus minus. Those are 2 of your answers. Okay? So we do have to rationalize that denominator. Here, x squared minus 5 equals 0. We add 5. And when I take the square root of both sides, it's plus or minus root 5. I can't simplify root 5. We're going to factor. It's going to be 3x squared and x squared. My factors of 8 are 4 and 2, 1 and 8. Minus 4, minus 2. Because I have to get a plus 8. Sometimes people will put the minus 4 here and a plus 2 here. That would work for the middle term, but it wouldn't work for the last term. Okay? It's minus 4, 3x squared, it's a negative 2 with the just x squared. And this one's a little bit easier in the sense that when I set each parenthesis equal to 0, I don't have to deal with any negatives. I add 4, and I divide by 3. So it's x squared equals 4/3. When I square root both sides, x squared equals the square root of 4 over the square root of 3. The square root of 4 is 2. If you can take the square root of something, take it right away. Root 3 over root 3 to rationalize the denominator. And my x equals plus or minus 2 root 3 over 3. Here we add 2 to both sides. X squared equals 2. We take the square root of both sides. And x equals plus or minus root 2. Once again, those are your 4 answers. Okay, when I'm factoring here, we put the x's and they're both x squared. Negative 18 means we're going with a positive 6 and a minus 3 to create that middle term. So x squared plus 6 equals 0, and x squared minus 3 equals 0. x squared equals a negative 6. I square root both sides, and my answer is simply plus or minus I root 6. If you can simplify, you must do so. We're going to add 3 to both sides, so x squared equals 3. Square root of both sides, x equals plus or minus root 3. And your answer. We're going to use 4x squared and x squared. My factors of 21 are 7 and 3. So plus 3 and plus 7. This will have a bunch of i's with it. 4x squared plus 3 equals 0. 4x squared equals a negative 3. And x squared equals a negative 3/4. Now, I need to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of x squared equals the square root of negative 3 over 4. That's plus or minus root negative 3 over root 4. Now, what's nice here is I don't have to rationalize the denominator. What's the square root of 4? What's the square root of 4? It's 2. So that's just 2 on the bottom. It's rationalized. And now I have I root 3 up top. It actually works out very, very nicely right there. Okay. Here, x squared plus 7 equals 0. X squared equals a negative 7. X equals plus or minus I root. Whoop, jumping the gun there, I'm sorry. Let's take the square root of both sides. And then x equals plus or minus I root 7.